All right. Welcome.
Welcome to the PTLS Life Unfiltered podcast.
where we talk about PTLS. We answer the questions that everyone ponders. What is life like with PTLS and how it affects us?
My name is Christian and I have PTLS.
And my name is Madison, and guess what? I have PTLS.
Sorry. So welcome to our podcast.
Okay. Today we have a special guest on our show.
So let's welcome them now.
And here's an introduction to my mom, Annette.
Hello, everyone in PTLS world.
So
Welcome, Annette.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, welcome Annette. How are you doing today?
I'm having a great day. I hope everyone else is having a good day.
That's it. All right. Well, without further ado, let's roll. Let's roll. Oh wait, whoops. You're on, man.
Okay, yeah. So, Annette, tell us about yourself.
Yes, well, I am a nurse, wife, and mother of 3 young adults, a lifelong resident over here in Pennsylvania out on the East Coast. And that's about it.
And Madison is your first child, your oldest child?
Yes, Madison is the oldest.
Okay, very good.
So tell us about your child.
Madison, in the early years, was extremely determined and tenacious when it came to trying to accomplish tasks, sometimes headstrong. But in her older years, she's extremely loyal. She's a dedicated sister. Her siblings mean a lot to her. And she definitely is a creature of habit and craves routines.
Yeah, routine is very, very important.
Absolutely.
Like it's one of those crucial things about PTLS that not a lot of people know about. But okay. Oh, whoops.
So, Mom, what were the first signs that something was different?
The first signs that something was different, I think, was around 6 to 9 months of age. We certainly noticed that her legs seemed to be weaker and floppier. They sometimes call it frog legs. We also noticed she never wanted to put her feet down on any surfaces. And she was also like having some choking episodes on different like food textures when we would try and advance her diet.
And how old was she when you had her diagnosed?
She was she was 20 years old when she got her official diagnosis, but she saw a genetics team and a neurodevelopmental pediatrician when she was between the ages of 1 and 2, had all kinds of genetic testing at that time. And that would have been in year 1999. And obviously everything came up negative at that time.
That's fascinating.
Yes.
I find that fascinating because there's more out there that were never diagnosed because of it being a microduplication, that it was missed in those earlier genetic tests.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I don't think anyone knew about it in their early years.
Yeah.
No.
Was it a fish exam or was it was fish, right? Not the microarray. It was the fish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the neurodevelopmental pediatrician, though, at every visit, he would say, I think she has something. He's like, I just don't think we know what it is yet, or maybe it's been fully discovered yet. So.
Right.
Mhm.
What made? Oh wait, that's Madison's.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What made you go get the test, Mom?
Well, because I'm a nurse and work at a hospital that puts a lot of emphasis on genetics and genetic testing, and we have something at the hospital open for all patients called My Code Study. I knew genetics was a big thing. So when I met with her doctor, when she was, like I said, right around 19 and 20, we had tossed around the idea, what would it hurt to have some repeat genetic testing? I said, because from 1999 until we got the diagnosis when she was 20, there's been a lot of advancements. And they said, sure, we'll go along with that. And so therefore they were open to have her retested.
Right. So yeah, that's kind of deep question. Deep question number one. So tell us about the day of the diagnosis.
Okay. So the day of the diagnosis, when we went back for the repeat genetic testing, like I said, when she was 20, they said, it could take, it was the microarray. And they said, it could take anywhere from 1 to 3 months, depending. So I was kind of thinking it was going to be sooner, because I really thought there was something that maybe we just couldn't uncover when she was 2. So it was, I think, within 3 weeks that I got a call from the geneticist who told me about the microduplication and what that meant, what syndrome that was linked to. And I was at work. It was the middle of my day at work. I happened to work with a neurodevelopmental physician. So I went right to him, sat in his office next to him at the computer. I said, okay, I got an answer. And he goes, okay, what is it? And I told him, and he looked at me and he goes, I have no idea what that means. He said, and he's a very respected colleague. So of course, then I was like, oh, so he goes, but I know that soon you're going to know way more about it than any of us are.
Yeah.
Because I know you. So yeah, so it was, bittersweet. I was grateful. There was joy. There was fear for the unknown, fear for the future, but truly that long awaited answer of getting the Potocki-Lupski diagnosis brought me peace.
Yeah. From what I've heard, it has given everyone peace, including Madison herself.
Absolutely.
But she told me that well, Madison, if you want to tell your side of this, or you're welcome to.
Come on in, Matt.
Well,
Come up here.
There you go. Slide in, Madison.
The day of diagnosis, I remember I was upstairs and you had come home and you called me downstairs and the kids were sitting right there and Dad was sitting there and I was sitting here and you told me what I had and I started crying and I was like, finally, it's a relief. And now I know what I have. And it was like such a relief and a puzzle piece. Yeah. I always knew that there was something different about special.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. So what are your dreams for me?
Deep question number 2.
Deep question number 2. So, as any parent, my dreams are certainly for continued happiness, continued health, long life, and just achieving as much independence as you want, as much as is possible, and always knowing, don't stop believing, because we definitely didn't stop after all those years and repeat testing to get answers.
Right. Now, editor's note here. Didn't they used to have whatever the array test, and now they have a different test, right, Mom?
It began with the fish, which Madison had, that didn't pick up the diagnosis. And then she had the microarray, and it did pick it up. Now they have the whole exome sequencing, the West test. But now that you've got the diagnosis,
that's what I thought. there was one test that we did like way back when, like in the 90s, and then there was one like when I was diagnosed in the 90s, and then
that was the fish test, the fish.
yeah, then that was the fish test, and then now there was, I think it was the fish test, the micro array test, and then after that was the what test we use now.
Yeah, the West test. Okay.
Okay.
All right, next one more. Deep question number 3.
Okay.
How does it feel to be a PTLS parent?
That's a great question. So it's amazing to have such a rare girl. As we all know, PTLS is rare. So it's amazing to have a rare girl. She has taught me that life is not about milestones, as we know. It's really about all the special moments that she brings. You know, I'm grateful and thankful that we've found the PTLS community, Julie, other parents, families that we now call our PTLS family. Like seeing the world through Madison's eyes has made me a better mom. And it also has helped me to understand, you know, acceptance, determination, unconditional love. And I know she in her life will teach me more life lessons than I can ever find on my own.
I totally agree. Totally agree. And I have to throw in there, Annette, that it's really inspirational, all of what you have done to help Madison to progress, first of all, through school without having a diagnosis. And it's similar to what I have with Christian. We didn't have a diagnosis, you know, early on. And then when we did, there wasn't any information on it. So it was really just navigating the school system, just focused on, well, what's the problem today? Let's deal with it today. Let's keep expecting something, because we don't really have a playbook for this. And which I think, I know for me personally, was a benefit not having it, because the teachers had to do everything they could because they didn't know what.
I think in school, when we had the what do you call it, the whatever it's called, the thing for school,
the IEP meeting.
IEP, yeah. We had to mark basically other health impaired.
That's funny you brought that up, Christian, because I was going to say that. So like you said, Julie and Christian, you know, the schools kind of like, and they want like that nice and tidy diagnosis. Yes. And we didn't have that, like you said. So things that came from the hospital were like hypotonia, you know, learning delays, finding gross motor delays, and then it kind of fit into that other health impairment. Yeah, exactly.
Which was, I think, yeah, again, my own opinion, I think that was the best label. There had to be a label for school, because that meant they had to give everything and expect everything and go with what she needed, and not a pigeonhole of a diagnosis label.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So as a result, that got Madison far in school. And when we met, she was going through taking the medical coding class.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Me? Yeah. Well,
both of you.
Well, I decided growing up that I wanted to be in something medical field, and I wanted to be a nurse. And then that changed to surge tech, was it? Like grandma. And I was like, that probably won't be good, because stamina and me standing, I don't do good standing very long periods of time. So then I decided to do medical coding, and I was like, oh, it's on the computer. I could work from home. I could make my own hours. And the first couple tests I failed, or every test I failed. but my score increased each time and I got more smarter.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm gonna interject. So she did fantastic with the course. She took a little 6-week introductory, then passed the course fine. But it was that final, as you know, Julie, certification test, and all through school, you know, test ability, test anxiety. Some folks just don't test well. So ultimately, you know, that was where kind of her journey for that came to an end because of being unable to pass that certification. But at her best try, she was literally only with 11 points from the passing score.
Gee, and you're right. You know, tests are not for everyone.
Right.
And the knowledge is there, the ability to test is not, but that doesn't demonstrate the true knowledge. Yeah, very impressive. Very impressive. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yep.
I just thought of a bonus question, and then we'll
Okay.
so, have we at the PTLS Outreach Foundation, have we unlocked Madison's potential for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. And just, it's been so helpful from the moment we got the diagnosis, when I looked online and found the foundation and found Julie and Christian. It has just been a wonderful experience to connect with other people that, you know what we've all been through.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
text, phone calls, lifelong friendships, meeting at that first conference in 2019 was literally like a life-changing experience for us, because I finally could connect with other parents, and I felt like that was our true sense of belonging.
Yes.
We're all scattered around the country, you know,
It's funny you
Right.
mention that because
and the world. Yeah.
That's right.
because myself and Madison, we have several friends. We're not going to mention names, but we do talk to them, and it's almost like we have a cross-country relationship, because like we have Zoom meetings monthly where we literally talk to each other across the country.
Mhm.
Like
That's
we have Madison up in Pennsylvania. There's me here in Texas, another friend here in Texas, and then another friend out in California.
Mhm.
Like, that is amazing technology that you're able to talk to people halfway across the country from you, or
Mhm.
like my friend Madison is over here on the East Coast, and or my other friend is over here on the West Coast. Like, this is so cool. Like,
It's absolutely cool. And Madison loves waiting for those, you know, monthly meetings. They mean so much to her. And we know as a family not to interfere on that day of the month. That's the PTLS roundup.
There you go. There you go. And it's fascinating because for children who were delayed with speech, and we worried, you know, will their speech ever come out? Let's see. We had a 6-hour nonstop talking.
Exactly.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Our Zoom talks can run anywhere from like 3 hours on the low end to like 6 hours on the high end.
They go on. They go on.
And Julie, that's such a good point when you said their speech was so delayed. You're right. Madison's first couple sessions with speech therapy, we were doing sign language with her before speech. So yeah, it's amazing, you know. And I give all the credit in the world to the PT people, the OT people, the speech people in the world. Early intervention was a godsend for our family.
Yes, Christian started early intervention. He started the early childhood program at age 3, which was really beneficial. But he started speech therapy when he was 15 months old, which was a little bit young, but the therapist agreed to take him on.
That's wonderful.
Well, and because of his cleft palate, he had a submucous cleft palate, so they were working on that, so that got him in to get him started with strengthening those muscles. But because it's not typical that they take them that young, but yeah, it's been very, very beneficial, these therapies. So, Madison, do you have any more questions?
I don't think I have any more questions.
more questions?
Not that I could think of.
No?
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well,
Okay.
Annette, we thank you so much for coming on. I think you have enlightened us all, myself, Madison, and the whole PTLS family, and anybody who is listening to us right now.
Well, it has been my pleasure. I'm honored to be a guest on this podcast, and happy to share, what our journey's been on this long-awaited diagnosis road. And it was definitely, as any parent will tell you, doctor's appointments, blood tests, therapies, MRIs. That's all well worth it to get those long-awaited answers for your child. I wouldn't trade a second.
I agree. They're true gifts on this earth for so many of us that get to know them, and get to live with them, raise them as our children. It's an honor to be a mother to a child with PTLS.
Absolutely an honor.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Great job. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Julie and Christian. It's a pleasure.
Yes. Thank you for listening to the PTLS Life Unfiltered podcast.
And Christian, you said my line. You're supposed to say, "This is Christian."
Oh my gosh.
I'm waiting.
Okay, well, this is Christian.
And this is Madison.
Stay unfiltered.
And always unlocked for potential.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.